Hello, everyone. Again, I don't know how many times part one I had to do over. Now part two, I had to turn it into part two. Um, where I left off, the last part was that, remember what's in the air, and it is directly from spirit. And as I've been saying, even spirit, they all had enough. So um, that's also for all these ones who know making whatever to sell. I spoke about this too. Everyone needs to pay attention what they buy. All these dolls, plushies, and whatever else that people are making from movies, TV shows, and again, whatever. I don't know what doll is out there, um, but it's for kids, but apparently adults like it too. I don't know the name of the doll. Um, and I didn't really see it. But um, for that, I've been saying, well, since the beginning, you need to kick your shoes, at the door before you walk into your home. This way you can get rid of wherever you were walking or people who were near you, evil spirits or whatever tries to attach to you. This way you could bring it inside your home. So that's why I said you need to kick your shoes and leave it to, the universe or Mother Nature, um, to take care of. And, in your head or whatever, that you did not give permission to these attachments to attach to you or enter your home. You did not give permission. Because also, they've been doing other ways how to have things attach to your home, inside your home. So they are making all these, dolls and stuff like that. But this movie, I don't know the name. The person didn't say. But they bought the doll because it was cute. But then all of a sudden, their children, were having nightmares and stuff like that, and things were happening in the home. So if you happen to bought this doll, you might know what I'm speaking about. Because like I said, I don't watch TV, or I haven't been to the movies or watch a movie. Well, never mind. But with this one, they mix the letters, but it is a real evil spirit's name, but they mix the letters. So if you get the doll, or the plushies, whatever, and your child or you start having nightmares and things happening in your home, and you happen to hear your children or child speaking strangely while they're in the room, but speaking to this doll, well, you grab that doll and you burn it. And then you cleanse your home to get whatever that's attached to your home out of there. Um, but, you do know you have to give spirits, good or evil, permission to come in your home. You do know that, right? Well, if you didn't, um, you know, they do find other ways, the evil spirits to attach to you. This way they can, talk negative to you. Um, you know, and if I were you, when anyone comes to your home, you know, you don't know. You might not realize it, but they might have things attached to them. Or, when you bring things in, like that movie, that's like, I don't know, a horror, but it's not. I don't know the name of the movie, so if anyone does know what I'm speaking about, write it in a comment. This way others will know the name. I don't know. The person never said it. But again, they mixed the letters. And, you look it up, see who it does represent, before you thinking that it's cute and all. And plus everyone gets, what I'm trying to say. Also, what's in the air? Let's start with these ones, for years and more. All thought you got away with it, with everything. As I said before, okay. It goes like this. You didn't ignore you ignored all the signs Spirit gave, with what others gave you, and etc. You ignored all that. And then also with us, we kept either ignoring signs. It doesn't matter what it may be. Staying with someone or letting ones do whatever, and you say, oh, it's only a phase, or that's just them. They're not like that all the time, and whatever else you say. We get it, okay? We also ignore signs and what others say. Only the ones who actually were helping, you also ignored. So everyone knows we are supposed to learn from lessons, not learning, taking a break for a bit and then go back to doing the same thing. No. We are making it better. And now there won't be any more, missing the signs, ignoring them. for the help when we are told by spirit, and the true ones who are helping, we're not going to miss it. The ones who aren't, and doing it over and over again, like the ones, well, those ones know, messing with me. You will know who is really at fault. And not bringing my family or myself in the middle ever again. See, a person, could let whatever go for so long. Be nice. Walk away. Not keep walking away, because you're bothered. No. I'm not chasing for what? What for? For you to continue to blame me and take the attacks or your rituals or whatever. You know what you did and still trying. But don't twist it. That I can take it. I'm not stupid to let you to continue. No one's stupid to have someone to continue over and over and over and over again. So you all know what you did. So why would I continue? And why would I have you all come back? Okay. You think about that one. Would you? If someone was doing it to you? We all learn in different ways. Some quick, some slow, hard ways, easy ways, with some, to help and, to say you need to pay attention. If you go through, something, if it is a hard way or you think it's a hard way, it's saying you need to pay attention, okay? Now it depends. The hard ones might be coming. This way you won't miss it. Or it might come back if you miss something. But to let these ones know, not one got away with anything. So get that out of your head, thinking it did. Because no one got caught or going through what was put out. Okay. And all of you, you're still believing that, or them, whoever got you involved. But look around. I know you know others who have done things, and you can actually see what Spirit did. Well, the karma, I should say. You know, or what did they say? Did they tell you, oh, it's my allergies? Because some are puffy, and I don't know. You know what kind of ritual that was. Okay. Now, I mean, I have allergies. They bother me. I mean, yeah, I'll say, oh, yeah, it's my allergies. But I look normal. I'm speaking about, beauty rituals. So they want you to do it while they heal by doing more magic, or rituals. This way they could heal. But yeah, it might work. But oh, forget, it doesn't last. Because what anyone does, to harm, ruin people, and etc. to others, or what you said to me, you see, it's that time where that what was done and what is being, what is all of you are trying to do. Well, it stays. What did you think? What's, in the air? What did you think it was? Not only the hardest lesson that you cannot imagine because of, you're still believing in all the lies and in your own lies, the drama, and etc. Instead of checking it out. So don't think I'm going to tell you. Because I didn't want to hear anymore what Spirit's going to do. But I can guess. But I won't. It's not my business, or it's not my fault. I didn't have anything to do with it, or again, it's not my business. For the ones who, put out there of all the arguments starting for no reason. That's a good one. Like I didn't go through that before. Well, again, you chose the wrong one to mess with. So you can guess if I have any part what Spirit and God is doing to you back. You can guess. I mean, maybe I do have some part. Maybe I don't. I know we had a lot of talks. We still do. But what I know, it's none of your business anyway. But I can say, it's sad that we are, supposed to, you know, hold up. Come here. Quiet. Quiet. No, don't you knock that over. I just got that. No. No. Go play with the guys. Go. Go. If this goes off again. Give me my shoe. That's my shoe. Get out of here. Go to your room. Or go play with the guys. Anyway, what did you think? I was going to just sit back and watch our lives pass us by? No. What did you think? All of us were going to watch our children, getting bullied and whatever else, because you were taught and you teach your kids. And other kids teach other kids, to who they decide to target. It's been back, I don't know when, with these cliques and, popular, and I don't know what they named them. I don't know. I forget, but I just remember the popular ones. You can't associate with each other. So it continues. Gee, I wonder how. And then when, our children or us, we stand up and we defend ourselves, you get mad. And then you pull, get out of there. No. Thank you for, get out of here. Go. Goofball. So you get mad and pull all kinds of attacks. I mean, it's okay for you, or whoever, to get all kinds of mad, bully, and do whatever. And you expect all of us just to sit back and take it. Well, people, some, it only takes a really short amount of time. Some of us have short fuses. Some of us do have short fuses, but, we still give you the benefit of, of a doubt. Oh, it's nothing. See, that's what I did for years. But, you know, the ones that, you know, since I was a kid, I'd been saying it, and I even said it to some of you. I said, one day, you are going to regret for doing. But I doubt it if you will regret it. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't get into your business. I don't know any of you. I mean, you think you know me, but you know who I am, though. But, you send all kinds of attacks and stuff like that instead of making yourselves better. Okay. That's also, when all this went way too long. But also, I wasn't born yesterday, and I saw every trick, every plot, jealousy act, playing, games, playing victim, setting people up. Every ritual. So, yeah, I did. I had a talk with my dad because, I'm his baby. So now we are seeing, and well, you've been seeing, and that's only the beginning. That was the beginning. You see, but now, well, it's done. Guess what time it is? It's cleanup time. I've said it. It was coming. Others said it. It's across the board who said it. I'll give you a hint. You know what bounty hunters are, right? Well, these are spiritual bounty hunters. And maybe bounty hunters. Don't know. But I know spiritual bounty hunters. And every spiritual ones that are in spiritual court, every ancestor, and more. Remember, I'm not telling you who I know up there or in the underworld. It's none of your business. I mean, I could go on, but no. Why? As I said before, why should I? Then it will ruin the surprise. You all, it's like I'm not just speaking about those ones, who've been attacking me. It's also who did anything And like I said, according to what you did, then you will have the surprise also. Because I've been saying it. The universe, the divine spirit, the underworld, God, Jesus, ancestors, the angels, and more weren't playing. They're playing their own game. They changed it. And they all had enough with the BS, the entitlements, ruining people's lives, ruining nature, animals, innocent ones, and whoever else. For those ones who keep saying, oh, the world is ending. That no one will be here. You do know why it said that in the Bible, right? Do you? No. Because it was twisted. See, when these ones read it, you know that you twisted it. You see, they are saying it for everyone to believe it. Scare people. With everything else out there that people are trying to scare people. Because when, it was put in, and now when it's read, ones are still saying it. It was put in, God did that for reasons. Those ones saw it, that if it continues on same person constantly, like you guys did on me, well, and others, they saw, the world is ending. But they don't see. This is what I mean. They don't tell people. It was for them because of what they've been doing. It's not for us. God isn't letting anyone change, prevent, and whatever, what good He has for everyone to make it better. And what He is bringing. So if you want to believe that, the world's ending, this is this and this and this, why? Because the only thing that I remember about the Bible, things were burning and stuff like that. Well, yeah, these idiots probably read that and they decided, because remember, the ones who started the fires got caught. You know, they probably read that and they decided to do that to make people get all kinds of scared and, thinking that the world is ending. You know how long I've been hearing that? Oh, this year the world's ending. Since I was a kid. If it didn't by now, what does that tell you? God, Jesus, will not let that happen. You need to hold on, have your faith, and believe in God and Jesus, okay? If not, I mean, He's still there. He's still going to help us. But you have loved ones. I mean, before I wanted to speak about my ancestors, you know, like my dad's an ancestor now because he's up there. But you get what I mean. But people will say, oh, they're not up there. I don't know where they are. They're just floating around or whatever. They're in the dirt, whatever. I don't care what my ancestors did. They don't want to know who they were or what they did. But, they all remember what happened that was already taken care of, but likes to repeat it. Stuff like that. So, let's take all, I don't know, people say Gen Z and etc. I don't know. Whatever you want to label it. Who always runs, to us or blames us. I mean, it's not only, the younger ones, but, it's a little older too that has that mindset still. Get into our business. Always coming to us when people can't figure out anything. You come to us, the elderly, parents, innocent ones. I'm not only, not the only one, who is saying it. I can't speak about everyone, but when we did anything, when I was younger, we weren't supposed to disrespect anybody. We had to, or bully, or do anything. We had to apologize. We had to respect others. And if we didn't, and if we did something, whatever was, arm's reach, that's what we got thrown at us. Or we got hit. And then we got punished. But we had to, we got dragged by the ear to whoever we did whatever to, and we had to apologize. But we also were taught when anyone was wrong, we were allowed also to say something. We were allowed to defend ourselves. after we told someone and nothing was done, then we were allowed to defend ourselves if it continued. But I don't know how everybody else was, but we weren't, we didn't give the first, you know, hit or do whatever. If it started, they did something, then we were. But we were also taught they hit first or they did something first and we defended ourselves. Don't expect to get back up. And we stood there. And waited for, I don't know, the principal or a teacher, you know, to drag us down to the principal's office. That's how it was. We had to be in when the street lights came on. Everyone on the block or wherever we were watched us. We learned from them. Now, we can't, nobody can correct anybody. We can't even correct our own kids without anybody, you know, getting in the middle. You know, it's like, you know, how we had it all gets in, you know, everyone, you know, gets in our business. And then today, I mean, you know, I don't know how long it's been that, you know, the next generation, they know it all. No one gets along. Our, you know, our village that we had, you know, who took care of everybody? Everybody took care of everybody. Don't even want to anymore. Because they don't want to hear the BS, you know, and wonder, you know, what parent is going to believe their child, you know. Yeah, adults lie too and say that your child did it, which, you know, because of, you know, whoever gets paid, you know, whatever, has more money or whatever. You know how it goes, you know. Starts. And everybody wants to know why, you know, wonder why. Kids today, as well, I know. They know everything like you. But, you know, none of us know anything. But when you want something, or kids, or whatever, or you can't figure out anything, when you're already got into your problem, or you have it, but when you're told anything, we get blamed. It's our fault. We don't know anything. You know, you know how it is. Well, you know, but people forget. You know, we've been through things. Some, a lot more. When we see, you know, you're going down the path where you're going to make a bad choice, people flip out when you're told, you know, just to help you. With some, you know, you get back a whole bunch of attacks. We know what that is. So think again, real hard. How does all that sound? You know, now I'm speaking, you know, what you guys all do. And why do you think when ones are tired of the BS and that people walk away? Do you know what the reason is? No, you don't. So, just like we had to, you have to relearn what giving respect is. Discipline yourselves. This way you can discipline if you have children and stop interfering with other people that, you know, people are raising people wrong. Okay. So your children or child or whoever acts up, you know, and so do you. But people like that are telling people who, you know, not abusing or whatever, just doing normal stuff and trying to raise and do the best they can, but they're wrong. Wow. Good figure. Okay. So again, how does it sound? And why do you think when ones, like again, are tired of the BS and people walk away? So, like I said, relearn giving, you know, how to give respect, discipline yourself, and maybe you can teach others what you learned and help them instead of having attitudes of you're better than anyone or everyone or whatever. You know, thinking that you're the only one who deserves anything You know the routine. Instead, learn how to treat yourself with respect. Love yourself. Discipline yourself. And stop treating people being fake, spreading lies or whatever, telling lies about them. Because when you do that, when you do it the right way, you do get far. Now, I heard this, and this is the best about relationships. Also, you need to stop treating relationships like a revolving door, meaning, you come when you want, you feel like, because that door is open and you're with, because you're with that person, or you're love bombing them, doing everything to get that person to trust you, to let down those walls that shield them, themselves. Then that's when you really use that door, making all kinds of excuses why you're not there. And when no one is around, then that's when you remember, that, oh wow, I have a good person waiting and believes what I say. It's also like, when you don't want to hear anything, excuses comes out. And then when people walk away, now you're mad. Because we're all standing up for ourselves. But, we can't be mad at what, anyone does to us. Just like I said. But play that over and over and figure out and know not to blame others. And it's not our fault. Don't you think everybody went through what you went through? I mean, some different ways. Don't you think that? No, you didn't. But remember, stop ruining on purpose for others who actually want a good person, and saying it's everyone is like that when it's only you. I gotta find out what the name is. My stomach is talking again. But anyway, everyone isn't like that. I mean, yeah, I have to admit, yeah, my wall's up. But I have a reason to. Like others do. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to trust a good person. I mean, hopefully, like mine, hopefully he helps me. That's what we're supposed to do with each other, help each other. You know, but like I said, I know it's all done on purpose to make people think that it's everyone that is like that. And you're trying to ruin all the good ones that are actually looking, well, you know. But remember, everything I said, what's in the air. You need to rethink and admit it's you who needs to heal. You know. And also remember, relationships are only for each other, not to circulate with everyone. Oh, I got the hiccups now. And this is the best explanation that is really good. It says, the person said, and I agree. If I find out I'm sharing with others, bye. I'm out of here. Peace. Arrivederci. Have a nice life with whoever. We need a soulmate, not a hotspot. That was, I heard it in different ways, but that, I agree. See, we, as I said, were raised. If we did anything, we got hit. As I said, we would get punished for a week or maybe more, depends. We didn't have what some have today to take away. We didn't have cell phones, computers, and whatever else. Our punishment was we didn't go anywhere till the week was up. And if we didn't complain for the one day, we couldn't go out, but our friends were allowed to come over, till our punishment was over. There was a reason why. You see, they came over because they were also punished. But their parents had to work, so they thought they weren't punished anymore. Nope. You see, my parents and their parents spoke and asked each other's punishment. So when they came over, we had to do both, theirs and ours.